is credit. And these people report you to the credit bureau. Half the time you don't even know that you have been reported, and there have been negative reports on there. So you need to become more aware of that. Now, to break it down for everybody out there in a way that we can all understand, and let's just throw away the legalese, there are three major credit reporting bureaus. That's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. That's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And at the end of the segment, we're going to put up their names, addresses, and how you can get a hold of them. That's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And we'll tell you what, they are the three major credit bureaus. How do they make money? A lot of people, we're going to bring out the dirty secrets and turn on the lights. A lot of these people in these companies that are getting this information, process it for these major credit bureaus, and they sell the information. To who? To people that sell credit cards and other stuff to help keep the consumer cycle going. But what many of us don't know is that you have rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act and other authority. You have rights to fix up your credit. And that's why we always harp on ImpactCreditGroupUSA.com, because I respect Mr. Holbein and what he's doing, and he's taking it nationwide on his website and delivering quality credit repair to people. Now, there's no guarantees that they can make you go from a D- to an A+ on your credit score, but you can sure do a lot of things as a consumer to do that. One of the things that our president, George W. Bush, signed in was you get a free credit report every year. Now, these guys from their major credit unions went crazy because that's one of their ways that they make money. Mr. Holbein, in an interview, an exclusive one with South Texas Crossfire, indicated that some of these guys in the credit bureaus are keeping the checks that you would once send for an extra credit report. They're not getting the credit report, and they're hammering the consumer and keeping the money. These are, and what I predict, are going to be huge lawsuits down the road. And all these anti-lawsuit abuse people, boy, I bet you they'll change their tune when they find out it's their pocketbook being affected. And as a consumer, it's happening to all of us. Let me tell you, one of the things you have to remember is that most things can come off your credit report within 7 years. You've got to remember that. Other than maybe judgments against you in a lawsuit, you know, the most run-of-the-mill things can affect your credit score. According to Mr. Holbein of ImpactCreditGroupUSA.com, he recommends this, that you order your credit reports. You look at them. You see what information past 7 years is outdated. You ask that things be removed. You clean up the score, and you would be surprised at the change. You know, a lot of people have gone to JCPenney, Dillard's, gone to a lot of stores, and they apply for in-store credit, and they're denied, and they walk away and say, God, why was I denied? I mean, I'm paying my payments on time. There's a lot of hidden things that we're finding out more and more that some of these credit bureaus are being unscrupulous about. And one of those things is that they don't take off negative information sometimes when you ask for it the first time. Sometimes you've got to be a pit bull and ask for them to take it off. Other times, one late payment can make or break your credit report and bring you down significantly. You know, I've seen time and time again when I've analyze people's credit reports that not only would the late payments mess you up, but applying for too many credit cards. You apply for too many credit cards, it also can lower your score, because somehow or another the gurus that be on these three credit bureaus are saying this guy must be desperate for credit. And of course, it's not all their fault. I'm gonna, you know, I like to bash the insurance companies like the next guy and the credit bureaus, but I'll say this. There are rip-off artists out there that make us all pay. There are people out there who say, you know what, from one day to the next, identity theft is one of it. That you have gotten, you know, say an unscrupulous person gets a hold of somebody's name and Social Security, it's over. He hits the ground running and gets credit cards, establishes credit, and blows it wide open. 25, 50,000 in debt, boom, takes it out. But lately, over the last 10 years, consumer law protects us on that. On most credit cards, you're only liable for up to $50 if you report it stolen within a reasonable amount of time. Debit cards, some say still that you're liable up to a few hundred to several hundred dollars, and some say, you know, maybe 50 or nothing. It depends on the debit card you have. But we always have to remember that to protect yourself, many people, it takes them years and up to years, or at least several months, to repair their credit once their identity has been stolen. And I want to underline that. A lot of the elderly are targets for this kind of thing happening to them, that they're victims of this. And we need to underline the fact that we need to protect our elderly, and also to caution people who just have started their credit history to be very careful. As we've talked about in other shows, credit can affect you for the rest of your life. And so we're going to talk a little bit about not only the credit bureaus and maybe their faults, but we're also going to talk about the consumer and how you can protect yourself. Going back to that about your credit score, other things that affect your credit score not only are late payments, even a couple of 30-day late can affect it. And we've also talked about applying for credit too much. But it's also keeping too many revolving accounts around. Many people have revolving accounts, and they whip out their card. You ever seen that? They whip out the card and they got more credit cards than they got pictures of their family. And so all those revolving credit reports can affect you. But at the same time, like I said, we've got an opportunity to go ahead and get our credit reports. And at the end of this show, we'll have the credit card numbers of the credit bureaus where you can contact them, and you can get a report, and also try to look at it, and look at it also defensively, where, say, some people have come to me and said, Joe, I've had a judgment against me. I messed up. I got in a car wreck. I had no insurance. They sued me. The judge or the jury found that I owed $5,000, and then every 10 years they come back. Or they've suspended my license because of all that. I can't renew my license, and you know what? Newsflash, I can't drive. But I'm driving, Well, I urge them, of course, to get all that arranged. But what happens, they get everything fixed up with the court, with the Department of Motor Vehicles. And welcome again to South Texas Crossfire. This is Attorney Joe Flores reminding you to join us each and every week right here on KTMV here in Corpus Christi and this area on Time Warner, Channel 6. Thank you to the Lopez family for their bringing this. And bienvenidos a todos in San Antonio, in Laredo. Now we're in San Antonio on Time Warner, Channel 21, and also in KVTV in Laredo, Channel 13, CBS affiliate, right before CSI, right after CSI, and right before Wheel of Fortune, and now soon to be in the World Wide Web come Labor Day, www.southtexascrossfire.com, where we're going to be podcasting these shows. As always, we're bringing out your rights, information about that, and letting you know how important you as a consumer are in our consumer-driven society. What we were talking about in our last segment was that people are getting ripped off through health care. There's $1 billion potential for getting ripped off, and we're just starting to scratch the surface on that. I want everybody to remember that if you have any questions, you can contact the lawyer of your choice. Remember, this show does not constitute legal advice. It's only creating awareness, so please contact the attorney of your choice. And if you have questions about our show or input, we'd love to put it on. You can contact us at www.floreslawfirm.com.